Good day, ladies and gents, and I want to start by thanking you for taking the opportunity to review the research analysis. The whole idea behind this research analysis is to give entrepreneurs and small business owners the information they need regarding starting a successful small business. And that's the key to everything that we're going to discuss today is starting and sustaining with your small business. So today's topics of discussion will begin with the benefits of a business plan. Then we will go ahead and navigate through the benefits of registering your business, the benefits of business website, the benefits of utilizing cloud technology, the benefits of online business training, and the benefits of learning business management concepts. All these areas united together help you complete the business journey. So that's what we're going to be discussing today in detail. So we begin the research analysis with the benefits of a business plan. Now, we can talk all day of what everyone tells you of what the necessity of a business plan is, but what we're going to do is dive into the research analysis surrounding the benefits of the business plan. And then from there, we'll move and make a conscious decision on how to develop our business and navigate through the business startup journey. So we begin our research by diving in and understanding the academic research of a business plan. So one, the adequate planning impacts a startup and existing business. So if we don't take the time and necessities and build it into that whole startup process, then the success rate becomes much, much lower. To prevent your business from being in a lower success rate, you have to start by planning. You have to start a business by including a written business plan or some type of strategy, but it needs to be documented and written down. Now, guys, the next bullet point is so important because I support it 100%, where it says it's much more important to spend time building your business but by investing in a planning strategy than just jumping head in and winging it, doing this or doing that or doing it out of sequence. Because what happens is you're going to still circle around and have to come back to that business plan. So I totally support that notion. The academic research supports everything that builds around a business strategy. So once you formulate a business strategy, the academic research supports that and tells you that you have a greater chance of success with your business than you would without a business strategy. When you take the time to build that business plan, it allows you to understand the expectations and theories that are in place surrounding your niche or your object of a business concept that you're trying to build. So this is where we gain that knowledge and our footprint starts to take shape. So ladies and gentlemen, the next slide that I have on here is planning can help your business grow 30% faster. So on the left-hand side, I've listed the competencies such as budgeting, sales goals, improving your business performance. And all of these areas can impact the way your business grows. So if you see on the bottom little red box I have, 71% of fast-growing businesses are credited for planning, for taking that position and planning. 92% of the growth in sales increased the first and the second year because of the planning mechanism. So now on the right-hand side of the graph, you see the types of plans. And I go to talk about that, such as marketing, growth plans, operation plans, strategic plans, and sales strategies. All of these are different types of plans that you can implement to make sure that your business grows 30% faster in its first 1 to 2, 3, and 4 years. So let's continue on with our strategic planning. So as we move on to the next slide, it begins by asking us, do I write a business plan? And this is a question that I get all the time. They say, Professor T, should I write a business plan? Why do I need a business plan? And, the question always boils down to this, and we'll discuss it in its entirety. So when I begin to analyze a client or a business owner, I try to ask them the same complete competencies because I want to see where their mind is and how they think this will impact their business. So I begin by asking them, what kind of planning are you doing? How much time are you spending doing it? What impact will this have on your business? Will this impact your ability to raise money? What should you start planning, or when should you start planning? And what can I do to reduce my chances of failure? So I asked them these same questions that they would ask me. And it always generates the same thing. You're starting a business. Well, what type of business? What kind of business are you starting? You're starting a business startup. How much time are you spending? I always tell them to spend at least 5 to 10 hours a week to really develop whatever they're wanting to start out with. Then the next part, what impact will this have on my business? If you invest in a business plan, it's going to create a solid foundation. It'll allow your business to withstand the test of times and last beyond the 5-year threshold. What impact will this have on my ability to raise money? It's going to affect you positively, because if you go down to get a loan from the bank, or if you seek independent investors, they're going to want to know that you understand what the ins and outs of your business and that there's a business plan in play. When should you start planning? The planning begins now. If you're listening to this broadcasting and you're deciding on whether or not to start a business, guess what? This is the planning stage. The balls in your head are moving and everything is happening now. Your thoughts are unstoppable. So this is the time that you have to decide, yes, I'm ready to start my business, and this is the starting point. And what can I do to reduce my chances of failure? Complete the startup process. Go in those sequential orders, and this is what I'll be discussing later, and just make sure that you do it with 100% clarity, and that is going to reduce your chances of failure. So now we're going to discuss what benefits planning has for existing businesses. So let's start with the existing business concept. And I tell people that if you're already in existence, your business will benefit the most from this. Why? Because you already have identified your ideal customer. You have proven data from the planning phase, so you understand where the playing grounds are. You've gotten a chance to see what your clients and your customers like and what they don't like. And your strategies are based on tested information. How does planning benefit existing businesses? It allows you to advance your concepts. It takes you to another level, and the risk is a lot lower because you know what the market is performing at, and how to avoid those pitfalls. So you're at a good advantage when it comes to creating some type of plan right now in the game that you're playing. So guys, let's talk about the quality of your business plan, because I tell everybody it is not that you just have it written. It matters. It matters of the quality of your business plan. And it all depends on you as the business owner or the entrepreneur. You need to set aside time to create a plan for your business. Whether you're having someone else construct that business plan for you, your involvement is 100% necessary. This is not a quick process. This is not something that you can just rest aside and say, oh, I'll do a little bit today, I'll do a little bit now. No, it is a long, drawn-out process that requires your attention. Be an active participant in your business plan. Make sure that you're involved in every section of your business plan. Ask questions. Even if you don't understand, you're the one that's going to have to deliver this business plan to obtain funding or to grow your business. So the best time to ask questions is to ask the questions now. The kind of plan and how you use it matters. And don't let anyone tell you differently. A plan just cannot be made by anybody. There are some highly technical businesses out there that can give you all you need, but are they going to give you the hands-on experience that takes you through the step-by-step, answers your questions, and get your true reaction into the business plan? And that's what you really need to weigh your concepts on. All right, guys, so let's talk about startup businesses. So this is important, and I really want everybody to focus in, because I really take a lot of energy to make sure that the startups get the attention that they need. If your business is just starting up and you're still in the thought and the process of developing your thoughts, then this part of the broadcasting is for you. This is the essential foundation of every business's survival. So when you're constructing that business plan for your startup, you need to create a shorter, less detailed plan. So make sure that this is not a long, drawn out plan, but make sure that it's a smaller and concise plan. Use plain English and non-technical. And that's something that I make sure that we practice in our practice, and that when people are seeking advice from me, I tell them, do not get technical in the language. Make sure that you understand every paragraph of your business plan and that it's easy to read and easy to flow. Now, business owners and entrepreneurs, listen, you've got to continue learning new things about your product and service and the customers, and you have to learn it rapidly because the economy changes daily. So you need to gain an understanding of your product or service and your customers, and you need to understand what changes their minds frequently. You need to create something that I call a strategic profile, and that profile will show how that customer and the product changes and adjusts on a regular basis. Now, the next part is change in strategies frequently, and I'm going to just combine the two of them together. Update regularly. And these two areas require agility and flexibility. The ability to change whenever necessary, to jump from one area, shift gears to another, to make sure that your business can survive. And you need to have that flexibility. You cannot start a business and be in these areas and think that they'll never change, because everything changes around us. The world changes around us. And we have to be able to pivot and change those areas so that we can adjust our focus and really make sure that our business can survive past that 5-year mark. All right, guys, so we're going to shift gears back to our established businesses. So as I mentioned earlier, and on this slide, it tells you that there's a 30% growth rate that happens faster because your business is already established. So the planning phase still benefits existing businesses, and it benefits them at a 30% rate faster. So how come? And we have to understand this. These established businesses understand the product and service and their customers. And how? Because they have a tested strategic profile. So that gives them one benefit and one leverage. But it also increases those knowledge when you're creating the business plan. Now, earlier I was mentioning to the other business owners, the new business owners, that you have to be able to shift and change wherever the market may go. But right now, with the established businesses, the details and strategies are less likely to change because they already have identified their ideal customer and they have shown proven data. So because of this, they're a little bit more structured and they're a little bit more ahead of the game. Now, with this concept, they're going to require a little bit more detailed planning, and they're going to need to test the market in different areas to find factual data to grow their business. And this is what the established business owners need to really focus and hone in on. Now, guys, I love this part of the training because it asks, what will my business plan include? And I clustered a lot of different terminologies and words and clumped them into there because I felt that best identified with what you are going to be up with. So these are different things. So I really want you to either screenshot this page, look it over, or really hone into it, because this is going to be the foundation that we're going to pay attention to moving forward. What will my business plan include? The tool of pivoting or changing strategic direction. So the first technique is honing in on the ability to be agile or agility. And that gives you the flexibility enough to take the company into a new direction while remaining agile and focused, because these are the tools you're going to need to be successful. The next tool or technique is readiness. And that is the ability to be ready to make changes in practices, tools, techniques, and habits. Your ability to remain on guard and ready to take your business in whatever direction you go is going to make you a more proven factor. And then the next function is being able to be adaptable and sustainable. I wrote a really good synopsis on there. I said to evaluate the business results versus your goals. To be able to look at that and know where it's going is going to prove beneficial to you. and it's reflected in the structure of your organization and the customer feedback. All of these things tied in together is going to create sustainability and adaptation for your business. So when you're looking at this slide, it's very plain. It says simple business plans. So when you're creating that simple business plan, take this away, screenshot this page. So if you don't go with us, that you know that whatever person's working with you, that you want this to be obtainable. Plain English, non-technical verbiage. Define your goals and your customers' needs. Make frequent adjustments and learn as much as possible about your business. Those are the simplistic things you'll need to learn to really push your business into the near future. So the first box that I have on here talks about understanding your business with preparation is more important than passion. Because we start these adventures and we have the passion and we have the drive, but what we need is the preparation. We need to understand every aspect of our business plan. So when they ask us, we don't need to rely on the business plan itself, but we need to make sure that we rely on our current knowledge and our understanding of where we're taking our business and what we want to implement into the market. The next tab on there is exactly what I just said, learning every area of your business plan, the objectives, the budgets, and the market. Cannot stress how important that is to make sure that you learn every area of your business plan. The third part really expands on preparation and learning every area of your business plan. Because once you achieve those two goals right there, you'll be able to discuss your business intelligently. And that's the key to everything. You'll be able to discuss the ideas, the target sales, the market strategies, and any other objectives that you want to add into the equation. But preparation and understanding where you're going is going to give you that leeway and give you that leverage. After you're able to discuss your business plan intelligently, it goes into the next part. And I want to talk about this because it talks about a pitch deck. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that briefly. But a pitch deck, guys, is a PowerPoint presentation. And this is how we're delivering our business plans to corporate heads and banks to achieve the funding. But planning in order to explain your business in a pitch deck is our purpose. Because the more we talk about our business plan and the more we develop it, then the more comfortable we are when we deliver it in that pitch deck. Now, ladies and gents, once we're able to achieve all these desired, crucial preparation tools, then and only then will it improve our chances of getting funding. So now our takeaway is, when should I start working on my business? And that is a question that I get around the clock all the time. And here's my answer to you. You should start your business the earlier, the better. The sooner, the better. You're starting now if you're listening to this broadcasting. You should be writing notes, taking documents down, telling yourself what screenshot you're going to screenshot and moving forward. But the process begins now. All right, team. So now we're at the place where we start asking ourselves, how can you or how can I establish legitimacy? How can I enter in this market and people take me as a legitimate entrepreneur? And it starts now, guys. And the first, engaging with your potential customers, really getting out there, asking questions, seeking out those that you would think would be your customers, and just engaging with them, just talking to them and asking them different questions. What will this do? It'll bring the survival rate beyond 5 years, because the bottom line is you understand your customers. You understand those that are going to be buying your product. Another way you can gain or establish legitimacy is by working with business partners, finding people out there in the game or in the market that have already been there for a while, and work with those business partners. This provides some form of proof of concept so that you can take the business to the next direction. A third indicator of establishing legitimacy is looking for funding. And not only looking for funding, engaging with the person that's providing the funding and securing that business loan. By doing that, that shows the market that, hey, you did all the things that were necessary to prove that you're legitimate and that you can be a player in this game. And the fourth way is by researching the industry. understanding what the industry has to offer, understanding what the players are already doing and what can be brought, and really establishing your own business success when you enter into the industry. So guys, on this slide, I put in a little information from the Small Business Administration because I wanted to make sure that I'm tying in quotes that really tie into the message. And the Small Business Administration, they said on their page, the importance of a comprehensive, thoughtful business plan cannot be overemphasized. So again, the importance of a comprehensive, thoughtful business plan cannot be overemphasized. So we have to make sure that we're really paying attention to the comprehensive aspects that the business plan needs to have, and to be able to understand every aspect of that plan and to speak about it as if it's our dream, because guess what? It is our dream. All right, so entrepreneurs and business owners, when you're going to start this plan, really understand you need to get the essential planning done before you start the marketing aspects of the business. If you do not, what happens is you really open up yourself to failure, to a failure rate. And we want to make sure that we are reducing that failure rate. Now understand that the planning objectives change frequently. So this happens because new information comes across the game on a regular basis. So we need to make sure that our planning is up to date and it withstands the hand of time. Now, when you decide to test the market, one way or the easiest way to test the market is talking to potential customers. This is a form of planning. You know, once you talk to your customers and you do these simple steps, then you're ready to start a marketing plan. Now, when you're out there talking to these customers and really researching the customers and finding out all the ideal aspects of your customer, then you'll learn that the customer has needs. They have price objectives, and you got to find out how to reach them. Ladies and gents, when you construct a business plan that is sustainable, guys, what's going to happen is you're going to eliminate the failure rate. It goes right out the door. It becomes marginal and it becomes non-existent. Why? Because when you establish a plan and update it regularly, you become unstoppable. Because when you establish a plan and update it regularly, your business becomes unstoppable. And to make sure that you have that lead against your competition, you have to track your performance and adjust the plan as you go. Track your performance regularly and make the adjustments that the market is calling for. Because you're going to know what you need to change, because you've already studied the market, you understand your customers' needs, and you know how to pivot and change directions so that your business can last beyond the 5-year threshold. Your business is less likely to fail if you have and start and implement that business plan. Part 1 says success depends on the plan. So we know we need a plan, and we know the plan needs to be successful. But we need to create what Part 2 calls value. And the value depends on the approach that we implement towards our customers, to the industry, to let them know that we are an emerging player is extremely important. Part 3 is understanding your customer. And the only way to do that is to get out there, talk to them, research them, see what their needs, see what their wants, and learn how to provide it for them. Part 4 is understanding your market as it changes. The market changes regularly, so you have to be ahead of that and anticipate what's going on and pay attention to your news and the market in which you live in. And then the dead center says agile and adapt to your strategy. And this is what we talked about before. So you have part 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if they're all functioning properly, then what happens is your ability to be agile and to adapt to whatever strategy that's in place gives you leverage. And that assures that the wheel is functioning and moving cohesively. We need to understand these 3 main concepts. We need to revisit our business plan as often as possible, look it over, make any changes as necessary, and understand that this is not an ending document. It never ends. It's ongoing, so we can make changes today, add something in tomorrow, take something out, and revise and improve the document on a regular basis. This is your blueprint. This is your Bible per se. Every day you should be looking at it, making adjustments, making changes, and writing it down. So let's talk about how we can obtain funding for our business. So who gives these fundings? It's broken up into 3 different categories: government-backed lenders, venture capitalists, and commercial banks. So these are 3 areas that provide funding for a business. Now here's the underlying truth. All 3 of these categories require a formal plan. Who requires a business plan? All 3 of these categories require a formal plan. So normally, business plans should be no longer than 20 to 40 page. And it's also prescribed by the classic planners. So they normally tend to be 20 to 40 page. But since now we're in a new decade and we're in a new era, the shorter the business plan, the better chances they are to get read. So please understand that. And most business plans only require about 5 pages to discuss income, cash flow, and balance sheets. And they need to have a full understanding after they read your after they read your business plan and implement that into whatever platform that they're trying to decide. Now, ladies and gents, you have to fully understand your projections. Any financial projections you put on there, you need to be able to understand it and avoid complex financials. Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. You have to simplify the path and make sure that it's readable, understandable, and tangible. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you write a comprehensive, cohesive business plan that can go the extra mile. So let's move into the next category. What do business investors want? Mind you, the financial aspects, they want fewer forms and better documents. They want action, guys. And when I say action, they want to know what's being delivered, what action is being delivered. They don't want to work hard to read your business plan to find it. They don't want to go and comb through the spreadsheets, which are not all impressive, but they don't want to have to dig for the information to find it. So they got to make sure that the action is there and is delivered. Now, they also want to make sure that you examine the market. Investors want to make sure that the business owners and the entrepreneurs examine the market. And in what areas? They want to be able to read and understand your business description. They want to know that the market is in the organization and the management, the product and service, and every other area and category that I have listed under examine the market. So we got to make sure that these core competencies are being displayed. All right, ladies and gents. So the next part I want to talk about is the business pitch deck. And a lot of people aren't sure what that is, but let me tell you what that is. It's a PowerPoint presentation that's delivered to an investor or anyone else that's seeking to fund your business or take your business to the next level. So that was just a short description of my interpretation of what the business pitch deck is. So let's read the official terminology. What is a pitch deck? It's a presentation of digital slides which summarizes your company. It can be presented or sent to potential clients or investors. The deck includes all required information found in your business plan. It's a digital slide presentation filled with color. It should be a deck of at least 15 to 20 slides, and it shouldn't last more than 20 minutes. Now, the business deck is the new industry standards, and this is what a lot of businesses are requiring and a lot of financial investors are requiring, because it shows them that you have a great knowledge when you present your business pitch deck. When you create the pitch deck, you have the ability to present it into a large crowd, or you also have the ability to email it out to specific investors. But time sensitive is everything, because this is not something that you just want to send out free willy-nilly to everyone that's interested. You want to make sure that you properly vetted them and you understand that this is a potential investor and that you have a lot to gain when you're sending out this sensitive information. Mind you, please understand your business plan is extremely sensitive. This is not something for everybody to see because it has all of your strategies and it has all of your competencies to make you successful. So I wanted to leave you with that part of the business plan so that you can think along those lines and apply all this information that we spent the last 30 minutes really indulging in. All right, guys, so stay tuned. And I thank you for staying with us this long. We're planning to move forward with our conversation and we'll move into the next area.